चारिणी निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी आस्थापतिष्ठारि श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
Prabhu, I think we can start, Prabhu. Others are not waiting, my God.
Rakov Prabhu said he is joining, means he is just wiping his hand and something. तो जब तक प्रभु जी आते हैं हाथ धो करके, तब तक आज सवेरे जो भागवतम क्लास में बता रहे थे उससे मैं एक दो पॉइंट शेयर करता हूँ। तो आज की भागवतम क्लास में बता रहे थे जपा के बारे में बता रहे थे। तो बता रहे हैं कि जो भी मीटिंग कर रहे हैं हम, वो मीटिंग का ओके आ गया। हरे कृष्ण।
प्रभु ये पुराने लोग नहीं आते क्या अभी, जैसे अनंत प्रभु और अपना लंबा लिस्ट था ना जो भागवतम के लिए हम बुलाते थे संडे को, वो उनको जाता है क्या, इन्फॉर्मेशन जाता है क्या?
इंफॉर्मेशन जाता है ब्रो।
अच्छा अच्छा। सो व्हाट इज द ग्रुप इन विच दे आर देयर, विच ग्रुप इट इज?
सॉरी।
कौन से ग्रुप में वो हैं जो लोग, सब लोग हैं बाकी श्रीमद् भागवतम के लिए?
वो ग्रुप धीरज प्रभु नो, धीरज प्रभु।
प्रभु पॉजिटिव थिंकर और जगन्नाथ, जगन्नाथ
नहीं,
ग्रुप।
वो तो बहुत लिमिटेड लोग हैं ना, उसमें अनंत थोड़ी होंगे, अनंत है क्या उसमें? आलोक है, आलोक अनंत आर
चेक करता हूँ प्रभु, एक मिनट।
राजीव, राजीव है क्या उसमें? राजीव, आलोक, अनंत, अद्वैत।
अनंत प्रभु ये,
आलोक।
अब ये सभी का नाम जो है ये संदीपन प्रभु के कॉलिंग लिस्ट में है प्रभु जी।
Hmm. I don't know. I have given the whole list to someone. Two, three people kept changing. I don't know who
धीरज
has
प्रभु
been.
के ग्रुप का जो कॉलिंग लिस्ट है वो धीरज प्रभु के नाम पे है, बाकी वो सारे नेम जो है संदीपन प्रभु की कॉलिंग लिस्ट में है।
Hmm. Okay. Because
आलोक
first
प्रभु
all
को
the
जाता
group. हाँ,
है, आलोक प्रभु को जाता है प्रभु, वो
अनंत,
पॉजिटिव थिंक।
अनंत को, अनंत।
यस प्रभु, एक आनंद प्रभु को भी जाता है प्रभु,
पता है।
पॉजिटिव थिंकर। यस प्रभु।
हम्म, ठीक है, चलेगा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Hare Krishna. So Prabhuji has mentioned that we have to discuss 4.8.44. Let's go to that. Four point eight point four. Yes, Prabhu. So this is Dhruv Maharaj's section. Very nice. Okay. So who are all there? Saidi Prabhu and who else is there in that room? Only Saidi Prabhu is there. Haribol. Hare Krishna.
धीरज प्रभु वर्ष आप बताए थे ना, बता।
नहीं, प्रभु आपके आपके रूम में प्रभु, वो कुछ आपके केबिन में।
Along with Saidi Prabhu, somebody else also is there.
नो नो प्रभु।
Oh, where is Prathamesh Prabhu?
Ratnesh Prabhu is not lifting call. I don't know where he has gone today. Yoga devotees has gone to Kundi Bihari Mandir while doing some Sankirtan. I don't know where he is.
Okay. And where is our Prabhu? Bala Sahib Prabhu and Sandeepan Prabhu.
संदीपन प्रभु इज बिजी प्रभु, some
Bala
seva.
Sahib.
Bala Sahib Prabhu told me he will join late.
Okay, okay. Fine, Prabhus. So, okay. Dhruva Maharaja leaves home in the forest. Okay. Snatva nusavanam tasmin नहीं, ये हो गया शायद, ये हो गया। प्राणायामेन तीव्रता
प्राणायामे तीव्रता
प्राणेन्द्रिया मनोमलम्
प्राणेन्द्रियामनोमलम्
शनैर्युधस्याभिध्यायेन मनसा गुरुणा गुरुम्।
मनसा गुरुं
ट्रांसलेशन।
After sitting on your seat, practice the three kinds of breathing exercises and thus gradually control the life air, the mind, and the senses. Completely free yourself from all material contamination and with great patience being to meditate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. In this verse, the entire yoga system is described in summary, and special stress is given to the breathing exercise for stopping the disturbing mind. The mind, by nature, is always oscillating for it is very fickle, but the breathing exercise is meant to control it. This process of controlling the mind might have been very possible in those days, millions of years ago, when Dhruva Maharaja took to it. But at the present moment, the mind has to be fixed directly on the lotus feet of the Lord by the chanting process. By chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one immediately concentrate on the sound, vibration, and things of the lotus feet of the Lord. And very quickly, one is elevated to the position of samadhi or trance. If one goes on chanting the holy name of the Lord, which are not different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, naturally his mind became absorbed in thought of the Lord. It is here recommended to Dhruva Maharaj that he meditate on the Supreme Guru or Supreme Personality, Supreme Spiritual Master. The Supreme Spiritual Master is Krishna, who is therefore known as Chaitanya Guru, Chaitya Guru. This refers to the Super Soul, who is sitting in everyone's heart. He helps from within, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, and he sends the spiritual master, who helps from without. The spiritual master is the external manifestation of the Chaitya Guru, or the spiritual master sitting in everyone's heart. The process by which he gives up our thoughts of material things is called pratyahara, which entails being free from all material thoughts and engagements. The word abhidhyayat, after which is used in this verse, indicates the unless one's mind is fixed, one cannot meditate. The conclusion, therefore, is that meditation means thinking of Lord within. Whether one comes to that stage by the Astanga Yoga system or by the method recommended in the Shastras, especially for this present age. To constantly chant the holy name of the Lord, the goal is to meditate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yes, Prabhu. So this is a very beautiful section because you see here Dhruva Maharaj is now has met his spiritual master also, and he is getting instructed by his spiritual master. So that is the most auspicious thing.
आपका आवाज कम आ रहा है.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, I'll speak a little louder. Let's see. Is it coming better now?
Yes.
Okay, so I was telling that here it's very auspicious that Dhruv Maharaj is meeting his spiritual master and getting instruction from his spiritual master. Yeah, so that is the greatest fortunate position of anyone, to have a spiritual master and have set of instructions. So here he is instructing him in Ashtanga Yoga, actually. Yeah. So it's a severe austerity which Dhruv Maharaj eventually performs. So yeah, so this system of Ashtanga Yoga, which Dhruv Maharaj performed, of course, it is based on meditating on the super soul. So that way, the culmination is Bhakti Yoga, and he was also chanting the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So yeah, the process was given Ashtanga Yoga, but it was actually invention Bhakti Yoga, because he was also trying to concentrate on super soul and also chanting the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So yeah, so in Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So Ashtanga Yoga actually eventually culminates in meditating on the super soul. That's what it's supposed to be, and that's how one can attain the Lord. That is the way. Of course, that process in Kali Yuga is not recommended that way, because it is very difficult for Kali Yuga jivas to be able to take the process of Ashtanga Yoga and meditate on the Lord. It will not be easy. So for Kali Yuga, we have chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The simple process of Bhakti Yoga is by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can attain the Supreme Lord. So studying entire yoga system is described in summary, and specialists has given breathing exercises for stopping the disturbing mind. So it's very scientific. By pranayam, one can have certain kind of mind control that may be possible. So that is being mentioned. And then he says, the mind by nature always oscillating, for it is very fickle. That is the nature of mind, Gita also explains, fickle. Chanchalam hi manah Krishna. So for some country, the mind might have been very possible, in those days, when Dhruv Maharaj took it up. At the present moment, the mind has to be fixed directly on the lotus feet of the Lord by the chanting process. He is telling like this. So that time people had that capacity to be able to control mind and then do further stages of Ashtanga Yoga. But it is not that feasible for Kali Yuga souls. So our Yamaniyam, Asan, Pranayam may not be so much, we may not able to do all that so much. Yeah. So by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one immediately concentrates on the sound vibration, thinks of the lotus feet of the Lord, and very quickly achieves position of Samadhi. So that Samadhi is the end, a result of end stage of Ashtanga Yoga. Yama, Niyama, Pratyahar, Asan, Yama, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, like that. There are different 8 stages. So Samadhi is the final. So here what Prabhupada is saying, one can chant Hare Krishna mantra, think of Krishna and come directly on Samadhi platform. So you don't have to undergo all that Ashtanga Yoga process to be able to come to Samadhi. You simply chant Hare Krishna, hear the holy name, and we think of Krishna. Because when you hear the holy name, you by default you have to think of Krishna eventually. Because name is different from Krishna. So that's how one can be, be in Samadhi. Prabhupada says one example also. He says like somebody is distributing books on the street. So when he gives, so he can think, okay, I'm giving this book for Krishna, for the prayer of Krishna. So that way he is in Samadhi. That way. Because he's thinking about giving a book for the pleasure of Krishna. That's how he is actually coming in Samadhi. So, yeah. Yeah. So one goes on chanting the holy names of the Lord, which are not different from the Supreme Godhead. Naturally, his mind becomes absorbed in thought of the Lord. Eventually, this will happen. This should lead. So chanting should lead to absorption in the thought of Lord. Eventually, that is the goal of chanting also. Correct. This is natural. The more we chant, the more we should be absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord. So it is good to remember our favorite deities, especially in chanting. Of course, it is not said that forcefully try to Basically main process is to hear only, but yeah, still if it is helpful, you know, if you can have, like if you chant something in front of deities, or yeah, just sometimes have a, you know, can think of the deity of yours in the mind and then chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It's very nice. Yeah, and of course when you hear the holy name, automatically, you know, the form of the Lord will come. You know, that will happen eventually. Right now it may be difficult for us, but eventually it will happen. Yeah. Just like you chant Pranav Prabhu, Pranav Prabhu, Pranav Prabhu, if you say Pranav. So when you say Pranav, then that means Pranav Prabhu ka picture aa jayega, right? Well, video off hai, but still you can have a mental picture of Pranav. You can still remember, oh, Pranav Prabhu is there, right? So the same way, even darshan may be closed, you may not be in front of deities, but you're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So impression is there. The impression of the deity is there. So that form of the deity may come eventually. If you sincerely chant the holy name. Yeah. So it is here commended to Dhruv Maharaj that he meditated on the Supreme Guru, or Supreme Spiritual Master. The Supreme Spiritual Master is Krishna, who is therefore known as Chaitya Guru. Yeah. The Supreme Spiritual Master is Krishna, who is therefore known as Chaitya Guru. So two types of spiritual master. One spiritual master is Chaitya Guru, is in our heart. And there's Guru without, like our Diksha Gurus, Akshiksha Gurus, our, you know, other different Gurus, what they act, what Padarshak Guru. So they are also manifestation of the super soul, and they are trying to help us. They are escorting us from outside. I mean, spiritual master from within, he is trying to give that necessary direction. Only thing is, we should know the art of consulting the spiritual master within, that is the Lord. So we may not be able to do that. Art is being taught by spiritual master without. So spiritual master will help us to be able to connect to the Satya Guru also. Satya Guru and the Guru outside, both are one in frequency. You know, both of them are working for the same purpose. There's a harmony between both, actually. So if you follow your Guru, that means you're following the Super Soul. That's what happens. Because right now we may not be able to consult the Super Soul directly, right? So Guru, the external manifestation of Guru. So Guru is actually the mouthpiece of Super Soul. Now we cannot hear the Chaitya Guru from within. So mouthpiece of Super Soul is spiritual master. So when you hear him, then you can actually you are hearing the Super Soul. That's how you can progress in spiritual. So this refers to the Super Soul is sitting in everyone's heart. He helps from within, as certain Bhavita, and he sends the spiritual master who helps from without. The spiritual master is the external manifestation of the Chaitya Guru, or the spiritual master sitting in everyone's heart. Yeah. That's what. He's the mouthpiece of Chaitya Guru, see? The spiritual master external manifestation of Chaitya Guru. The spiritual master as Supreme Lord is sitting in our heart, and the outside spiritual master is helping us to hear the Super Soul. So the process by which we give our thoughts of material things is called pratyahara. So pratyahara is not about just not taking ahar in terms of food. Ahar, there is ahar for all the sense objects. I mean, all the senses. For eyes, what is the ahar? Sushant Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
For different sense object, we have different ahar. For eyes, what is the ahar for the sense object? What is the sense object for eyes? What is the ahar of the eye?
To see the beautiful things.
Yeah, no, the forms, different varieties of beautiful forms. Beautiful, whatever, that is there. Then what about the ahar of the ear? So yeah, our Saidi Prabhu, Deep Prabhu.
To listen spiritual masters or
Yeah, that
listen
is very
kathas.
powerful ahar. That is real ahar. That is Mahaprasad. But I'm talking about in general, what is the ahar for the ear? Saidi Prabhu.
In general, music, mundane music.
Yeah, any sound. Sound is the ahar.
Yeah.
So rasa, gandha, rasa, gandha, sparsha, shabda, and swad. Correct, na? There are 5 rasas. I mean 5 sense objects. So something is tasty. Tasty was rasa, gandha, sparsh. No, रस हो गया ना, सॉरी, रस तो हो गया स्वाद में. रस, रस, गंध, स्पर्श, शब्द. वन मोर है वो. रूप, 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 रस, गंध, शब्द, स्पर्श. रूप, रस, गंध, स्पर्श, शब्द. Like that, 5 sense objects. So same way for knows the sense object is gandh. Like that. So you can find that. So the process by which we give up our thoughts of material things is called pratyahara. It entails being freed from all material thoughts and engagements. So that means we have to withdraw our mind, from all the different varieties of sense objects. Yeah, because sense objects, they connect through our outlet of senses, external senses, to mind, because all the senses are linked with mind actually. Shrotram, chakshu, sparshanam cha, rasanam, घ्राणम एव च, अधिष्ठाया मनश्चायम विषयान उपसेवते. The shloka Bhagavata says. Can show you that. This one. The living entity, thus taking gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. See, they're grouped around the mind. It thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects. So mind is linked with all the sense objects. Ultimately, all the things, subtle way we connect, no? Rupa, rasa, gandha, everything. So it comes linked with mind. So mind has to get out of all kind of sense gratificatory thoughts. Yeah. So it says that the process by which we give up our thoughts of material things is called pratyahar. It entails being freed from all material thoughts and engagements. The word abhidhyayet, which is used in this verse, indicates that unless one's mind is fixed, one cannot meditate. The conclusion, therefore, is that meditation means thinking of the Lord within. The process by which you give our thoughts of material things called pratyahar, which entails being free from material thoughts and engagements. The word abhidhyayet, which is used in this verse, indicates that unless one's mind is fixed, one cannot meditate. Yeah. The conclusion, therefore, is that meditation means thinking of the Lord within. So mind has the function of thinking. So if you think of Krishna, then you are free from other varieties of material thoughts and engagements. But if you are not thinking of Krishna, then other varieties of material thoughts and engagements will occupy the mind. That will happen naturally. So that's why we have to consciously try to think of Krishna. And the way to think of Krishna is to engage in different varieties of devotional activities. That is not some kind of, okay, now I'll think of Krishna. Maybe difficult. But if you are hearing, then naturally you'll think of Krishna, right? When you think of, you're hearing the pastime of the Lord. So by hearing, you are able to think. So hearing is a very powerful way to engage the mind. Think about it, Prabhu. When you have to hear, then your mind has to be there, correct? Like sometimes we read, but we may be thinking something else. But we cannot, then we're not hearing then. When you're not, our mind is not connecting with what is written. Correct or not? It happens, no? When you have to again read sometimes. So when you have to read, when you have to hear, then your mind has to be there. Think about it. How many of you are able to think it? When you have to read or hear, your mind has to be there. How many of you are able to connect to what I'm saying? Devotees can put their video also on, that would be good. अभी तो सब अब तो एक ही फैमिली में है सब, उसमें अपने अपने ब्लैक बॉक्सेस में बंद हो गए सब लोग. So please come to the temple hall. All the devotees can come together, have the darshan of each other. Yes, Prabhu. So Yes. So can you think about it that when you're reading, hearing, then chanting में तो हम लोग कट शॉर्ट कर लेते हैं, चैंटिंग चलता रहता है और सोचते रहते हैं कुछ और। उसमें कोई पूछेगा नहीं समझ में आया क्या, वो तो हाँ पता है ना, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। तो उसमें कोई पूछ ही नहीं सकता। क्लास होगा तो क्लास में पूछेगा, डिवोटीज पूछ सकते हैं, बताओ क्या बताया क्लास में, अरे बाप रे, तो माइंड को रहना ही पड़ेगा, नहीं तो वो मिस हो गया तो मिस हो गया। अभी इसमें हरे कृष्ण मंत्र मिस हो गया तो समझ में नहीं आएगा। यू अंडरस्टैंड ना? सो हाउ चैंटिंग इज सो ट्रिकी समटाइम्स। If you don't consciously, honestly, genuinely endeavor to hear the holy name, nobody can, count how much you have heard. Nobody, you also don't know, only Lord knows. And nobody can question. Hey, Pranav Prabhu, Rishabh Prabhu, Rohit Prabhu, three of you did not chant the holy name properly today. You were chanting Hare Krishna, but you were not hearing. Nobody can say, nobody can catch your ear. Hey, you did not hear the holy name. Prabhu, I was chanting. All throughout I was chanting. Everybody heard. But did you hear? No, but everybody heard. Ask my neighbors, I was chanting or not. Ah, you were chanting. Correct, you were chanting. But are you hearing or not? That only we know. Or we may not know also. Only Krishna may know. Sometimes we assume that I am hearing only. Yeah. But of course, doesn't mean that we should not chant and we should just only hear Bhagavatam. We can do that also. But if really you hear nicely, so that's why sometimes hearing Bhagavatam is more easy than chanting. Well, how many of you agree with this? Hearing class is more easy than chanting. Yeah. But that is good. But if you at least hear Bhagavatam, then your chanting will improve also. Correct. So that's a engagement for the mind and intellect. So when you hear the Bhagavatam, then your mind has to be there. Then mind gets purified also. So then the chanting can also be good, because when you have heard, then you have got more understanding about the holy name, holy fame of the Lord. Then chanting will become more meaningful and prayerful. Yeah. So hearing connects the mind directly to hearing directly impacts the mind in that way, because mind has to be there. Otherwise, you imagine you read the whole paragraph. No, you did not. Your mind was not there. You're not able to understand anything then. So that's why to just be with the Prabhupada book for a certain period of time, it is so powerful, because you're completely away from Maya during that time. You're just with the transcendental sound vibration. It is so nice. Sometimes in chanting, we don't have that, we're not still hearing, we're still going on in our mind. So that's why eventually we should improve the chanting also, because chanting is also the very powerful. If we can just hear, so much purification will happen. So our mind we are not able to keep doing with the holy name. That's the problem. So anyway, but at least Bhagavatam and lecture hearing, that may help. That way we can keep our mind. Then only you can take it. Then you have, at least you can check whether I was hearing or not. If you're not hearing, then you're not able to tell any point. You will not remember any point. If you have heard, then your points are, you can remember the points, you can relish. So that's how this is also directly connected. That's why Prabhupada said, chanting means thinking of Krishna. Chanting means thinking of Krishna. Same way, reading Prabhupada books also is thinking of Krishna. Hearing the lecture also is thinking of Krishna. Yeah. So the word abhidhyayet, which is used in this verse, indicates that unless one's mind is fixed, one cannot meditate. The conclusion, therefore, is that meditation means thinking of the Lord within. Whether one comes to that stage by the Ashtanga Yoga system or the method recommended in the Shastras, especially for this present days, constantly chant the holy name of the Lord. The goal is to meditate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah. So meditation means there is an object of meditation. Who is the object of meditation? Krishna. In the form of sound, in the form of text, in the form of prashadam. But there's a meditation there, active. Some object of meditation should be there. So meditation doesn't mean anything just vague. Where you're meditating upon? I'm just meditating upon void. What is this void? Your meditation itself is void. It's bereft of any substance. Then meditation cannot be on something void or something nothing. No, it has to be on something. And the object of meditation should not be some light, candle light, some point. How can any mother will meditate on candle? She is meditating on a child because love is there. Can you love child? Can you have any emotions? You are meditating on the candle light. What emotions you'll have? Nothing. So it's very dry. But if a devotee is meditating upon the holy name with devotion, then you can say devotional meditation, right? But the meditation is, to enhance our love for the object of our meditation. Correct or not? So it's very, very different only. People have a very vague idea of meditation. We are meditating. We are doing meditation. The whole purpose of meditation is just get some peace, that's all. थोड़ा उनको पीस चाहिए. मेडिटेशन क्यों करना है? थोड़ा फोकस चाहिए, पीस चाहिए, कंसंट्रेशन चाहिए, इसलिए मेडिटेशन करना है. That is the understanding. But actually, we have clear understanding of what our talking about samadhi means. To actively think of Krishna, to actively be engaged in the process of doing so many varieties of activities for Krishna's service. That's how our mind is thinking about him that way. So it's saying, unless one's mind is fixed, one cannot meditate. The conclusion therefore is that meditation means thinking of the Lord within. Doesn't mean. But then one comes to that stage by Ashtanga Yoga system by method recommended in the Shastras, especially for this present. So that is constantly chant the holy name of the Lord. The goal is to meditate on the supreme God. Yeah. So eventually the chanting should lead to thinking of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Think of Krishna. Okay. Any question till now? Anybody has any question? Only 3 devotees have their video. Okay, so video. 24 devotees. Okay, Prasadabhimukham Shatvat Prasanna Vadane Kshanam Shunasam Subhravam Charu Kapolam Surasundaram. What do you? Sadi Prabhu can read.
The face of the Lord is described here. The Lord's face is perpetually very beautiful and pleasing in attitude. To the devotees who see him, he appears never to be displeased, and he is always prepared to award benedictions to them. His eyes, his nicely decorated eyebrows, his raised nose, and his broad forehead are all very beautiful. He is more beautiful than all the demigods.
I wanted to show you one text also. It's about which I was talking now. Hearing means it implies the mind directly to transcendental state. And the search problem. या देखो ये बहुत अच्छा है. Somebody can read this purport. I'll tell you from where to read. From here you can read.
One has to fix his mind and the circulation of the vital air and thus think of the transcendental pastime to the Supreme Lord. It is never mentioned that one should concentrate on the impersonal or void. It is clearly stated Vaikuntha Lila. Lila means pastime, unless the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, has transcendental activities. Where is the scope of thinking of this pastime? It is true, the process of devotional service, chanting and hearing of the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that one can achieve the concentration. As described in Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord appears and disappears according to his relationship with different devotees. The Vedic literature contains many narrations of the Lord's pastimes, including the Battle of Kurukshetra and historic facts relating to the life and prospects of devotees like Prahlad Maharaja, Dhruva Maharaj, and Amvirash Maharaj. One need only concentrate his mind on one such duration and become always absorbed in his thoughts. Then he will in a samadhi. Samadhi is not an artificially bodily state. It is a state achieved when the mind is virtually absorbed in thoughts of the Supreme Personality of God.
Hmm. One need only consider the mind on one's narration becomes always one in his thought. That is samadhi. Samadhi is not an artificial. Mind is virtually absorbing thoughts of merely God. Yes. I think some more last point also there. Yeah. Read this. Pardon? Read this.
The process of Krishna consciousness is to chant Hare Krishna and to hear the sound attentively so that the mind is fixed upon the transcendental vibration of Krishna's name, which is non-different from Krishna the personality.
Hmm. Understood, no? So it's a simple process. Read this. Hello?
But one who can perform the simple process of chanting Hare Krishna can fix the mind more easily.
Hmm. Hmm. Read this.
Gurukul, by directly fixing the mind on the sound vibration of Krishna or on the form of Krishna, the same purpose is achieved.
Hmm. Hmm.
Thus, one can fix his mind constantly on the Supreme Personality of Godhead and can attain yati.
Hmm. Hello?
The name of Krishna and the Supreme Person Krishna are non different. Therefore, if one concentrates his mind on hearing and chanting Hare Krishna, the same result is achieved.
Hmm. Read this.
Ultimately, one has to meditate on the Supreme Personality of God in order to be elevated to the transcendental position, where he is no longer affected by the three modes of material nature.
Mm. This one I was thinking. Actually, this one I was. Yeah, read this. This was what I was looking for. Yes, bro, read.
Should I read through? Sorry. The process of meditating on the form of Supreme Personality of Godhead within oneself and the process of chanting the glories and pastimes of the Lord are the same. The only difference is that hearing and fixing the mind on the pastimes of the Lord is easier than visualizing the form of the Lord within one's heart, because as soon as one begins to think of the Lord, especially in this age, the mind becomes disturbed. And due to so much agitation, the process of seeing the Lord within the mind is interrupted. Then there is sound vibrated arising the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. However, one is forced to hear. That hearing process enter into the mind, and the practice of yoga is automatically performed. For example, even a child can hear and derive the benefits of meditating on the pastimes of the Lord simply by listening to a reading from Bhagavatam that describes the Lord as he is going to posturing ground with his cows and friends. Hearing includes applying the mind.
See, this is the powerful line. Read, everyone. Everyone can say this.
Hearing includes applying the mind.
Again, sir.
Hearing includes applying the mind.
Yes. So hearing automatically will lead to applying the mind. Yes.
In this age of Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya has recommended that one should always engage in chanting and hearing. Bhagavad Gita, the Lord also says that Mahatmas or great souls
Always engage in chanting and hearing Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
It is not chanting and hearing and then Bhagavad Gita. No, it is chanting and hearing Bhagavad Gita, like that prophecy.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Lord always says that Mahatmas or great souls always engage in the process of chanting the glories of the Lord, and just by hearing others derive the same benefit.
No, and just by hearing, others derive the same benefit. Comma पे pause देना है.
Yes, योगा में योगा नेसेस
जैसे गुरु होते हैं ना, गुरु और गुरु के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव बताते हैं कहाँ पे फुल स्टॉप, कहाँ पे कॉमा. ना अभी तुम ये करो सेवा, उसके बाद थोड़ा रुको, अभी ये बड़ा ये सेवा करो, अभी फुल स्टॉप, अभी दूसरे सेवा में आ जाओ. तो उसके हिसाब से करना है. वैसे रीडिंग वैसी कॉमा इज लाइक पॉज, फुल स्टॉप मींस दैट सेंटेंस इज ओवर, गिव अ बिगर पॉज एंड देन गो अहेड लाइक दैट टू बिगिन अ न्यू सेंटेंस. तो आप ऐसे अचानक से नहीं रोक सकते. You should not be like this. Lord Chaitanya has recommended that one should always engage in chanting and hearing. Bhagavad Gita, the Lord also says that. That doesn't make sense. You have to read like this. Lord Chaitanya has recommended that one should always engage in chanting and hearing Bhagavad Gita. The Lord also says that Mahatmas or great souls always engage in the process of chanting the glories of the Lord. And just by hearing, others derive the same benefit. वो comma इसलिए लगाया है.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I'm teaching English.
नहीं वो तो ये ऊपर नीचे हो रहा था ना, तो मैं कंफ्यूज हो रहा था क्या पढ़ना है वो.
No problem.
Yoga necessitates meditation on the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, whether he is standing, moving, lying down, etc.
Yeah, so amazing purport, right? What interesting thing you find in this purport? Tell me who will tell. What is interesting in this purport?
Simply by chanting and hearing attentively, we can we can get into samadhi. And samadhi means
Okay.
that thinking about Krishna. Uh,
Okay.
applying your
Good
mind,
point.
yeah,
Hmm.
applying your mind in thinking of pastimes of Krishna while chanting.
No, no, no. That is not told. While chanting, think of your mind,
No, no, no.
thinking of past
Automatically,
time.
automatically,
नहीं वो point वो ठीक है लेकिन वो point बताया नहीं आप.
oh, see, oh, yes, good.
Okay, let's hear from other devotees. Okay, you tried your best and you said you did say the correct points. Some more addition. Anybody else also like to say? Yes. Any Mahatma would like to speak, please? Yes. बोलो धीरज को क्या बोल रहे?
Yes, Prabhu. So
You are
while
also Mahatma.
chanting,
Mahatma means one who engages in devotional service of the Lord. Are you not Mahatma? You are.
um,
Mahatma Dheeraj Prabhu ki jai. Yes, go ahead.
so Prabhu,
Hmm.
while chanting, we should not be trying to see the Lord. Means
Who said
we
this?
should means not to see the Lord, but that there is we can find the disturbance.
What?
Yes, Prabhu. It was written.
Lord is disturbance.
No, not disturbance. It was written na, ki, we should simply hear that. Means simply hear the holy name.
What? And we should not. The pastime comes as disturbance for the devotee.
No,
No,
he,
it's not a disturbance.
Then what is the
Like,
point? What do you mean?
so there
uh,
is mentioned that meditating on super soul is difficult.
yeah, right, bro. Yes, that's the thing.
And hearing the Lord's name is easy.
Yeah. Pranav Prabhu said so. Correct.
More precisely, the way Prabhupada said, like that you have to say.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, right.
No, not right. You have to say what Prabhupada said exactly. Pranav, would you like to try some more attempt?
So in these words you are mentioning, hearing means applying the mind.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you this one. When somebody wants to visualize, like suppose you have to sit and now you have to think of Krishna. You want to visualize the form of Radha Krishna. It's not so easy. Just think of Krishna. Just keep remembering the Lord. Is it so easy? No. But you hear the passing of the Lord from Bhagavatam, read Gita, and hear. Then your mind is actually able to properly think of Krishna. Krishna going with his cowherd boys, going with the forest, and when the demon comes and they are having their lunch, and then Krishna's all that, everything will be there. So then you can be in the, your mind is actually thinking of Krishna. You see, you think and you try to do Leela Smaran. Is it possible so much? Very difficult. But you read Bhagavatam, Leela Smaran happened. Just see what we are doing. We are doing Leela Smaran. It is not ordinary. Think about it. Is it very ordinary thing? You are thinking of the pastimes of the Lord with the help of Bhagavatam and Gita. The purpose is given. Very simple it is. See? So this is the wonderful way. That's what Prabhupada is saying. If because mind in Kali is so disturbed. See what he says? What he says that the only difference that hearing and fixing the mind on the passion of the Lord is easier than visualizing the form of the Lord within one's heart, because as soon as one begins to think of the Lord, especially the mind becomes disturbed. And due to so much attention, the process of seeing the Lord within the mind is interrupted. It's interrupted. Something else only will come. Not easy. Even trying to take darshan of deity also, directly taking darshan also is difficult sometimes. Mind may go here and there. Not so easy. Correct now. Like somebody may see the Lord and Lord's dhoti taking darshan, and seeing the Lord's dhoti, he'll remember his dhoti. अरे मेरा धोती मैंने सुखाया बारिश आ गया, अरे भागना पड़ेगा, अरे धोती निकाला नहीं मैंने, भागो. तो लॉर्ड का तुझे देख के अपना धोती याद आ गया, भाग गया वहां से वो. So that can happen. But when you are hearing the pastime of the Lord, it is much more easy to absorb your mind in thoughts of the Lord. You can think of the Lord more deeply also. So we should not discriminate. We should not think that by when you're hearing, so we are actually having darshan of the Lord. Yeah, because your darshan is happening in the mind. You're thinking of the Lord. So one should not minimize that. Do you understand what I'm saying, Prabhus? Correct, no? Some people come for darshan of the Lord, but they are not interested in hearing the discourse. You tell them sit down, sit here, they will run away. नहीं हम दर्शन कर लिए जाना है हमको, you know. So they only want to take. That is also good. We are not saying that's not good. It's good, you know. But we have to also be cautious to, um, you know, hear and by hearing. So very nice purport it is. You can note down 3:28:19. Very nice. The process of meditating on the form of the Spirit of the Godhead within us. Because we want to meditate on the form, correct? Within oneself, and the process of chanting and glories of the person of the Lord are the same. So now we are not able to meditate on the form of the Lord directly. Then what we should do? We engage in the chanting and glorifying, chanting the glories and pastimes of the Lord. That's what we should do. Because can you think of Krishna? Dheeraj Prabhu, think of Krishna. How much time will you able to? Okay, ठीक है, 1-2 सेकंड के लिए आगे भगवान, उसके बाद गायब, फिर जॉब आ जाएगा, फिर सैलरी आ जाएगा, प्रमोशन आ जाएगा, फिर वर्कलोड आ जाएगा, फिर ये आ जाएगा, प्रसाद ले लेता हूँ, है कि नहीं? क्या बोलते हो धीरज को? नहीं, धीरज को के साथ
Yes, bro. नहीं होता bro.
तो ये होता है हम सबके साथ, नहीं? हम इतना सारा खट 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 नो, बहुत सारा हमारा चलता रहता है, लेकिन हियरिंग के टाइम पे एटलीस्ट यू नो वी कैन be absorbed in one thing. Okay, past time will go, then we digest and absorb. Lot of purification happens actually when you're hearing Bhagavatam, when you're reading the Prabhupada books. Yeah, because the whole thought process is aligned with Krishna. The whole mind is with Krishna. Those are meditating on the form of the Supreme Holy Godhead within oneself, and those are chanting the glories and pastimes of the Lord are the same. The only difference is that hearing and fixing the mind on the pastime of the Lord is easier than visualizing the form of the Lord. हमारे प्रभु अभी विजुलाइज करेंगे फॉर्म ऑफ द लॉर्ड बैठ करके, वो क्या करेंगे, मेडिटेशन कर रहे हैं, तो वो नहीं होता है, मुश्किल होता है वो. दैट इज आल्सो कैन, who's qualified can do that. Who did like that? Any example who could just sit and meditate on the Lord? Narasimhananda Brahmachari, no, he was meditator and he served the Lord also. No, he made the whole pathway. Lord Chaitanya went also to that path, and after that he will not go, and exactly after that particular place Lord Chaitanya did not go further. Same way we find the Pratishtanpur Brahmachari, one who was meditating and is cooking for the Lord. Kheer he made. After making the kheer, it was very hot. He wanted to check whether it is cool down or not. And he put his finger in the mind, only everything is happening. Huh? And then he found his finger was burnt. And he opened the eyes. His finger was burnt. So the Lord Vishnu was smiling from there. Vaikuntha. What is happening? Lakshmi ji saw, I think, this is finding, he's offered everything in mind, but actually his finger got burnt. So this kind of Leela Smaran or the service in the mind, it can be done in a very exalted position. Sanatan Goswami was meditating, on the Radha Krishna pastime. And suddenly that limping Vaishnava was going. Then he laughed because of, his in pastime he was there, and there he laughed. In certain pastimes away. But this limping Vaishnava thought he's laughing at me, and he felt offended. That's how his meditation broke. Like that. So you find all this, Madhven Puri would remember Krishna. Suddenly you find something and start completely absorbed in thought. Then the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would have, deep remembrance of Krishna without, having anything. Just within him, he would remember Krishna so much. So we may not be able to do like that right now. Correct or not? What do you say? For us, may be difficult. So for us, the practical way of following the footsteps of all these devotees is what? You read and hear Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. Do that. So half an hour, 1 hour, whatever you do, that is actually very powerful smaran. Very powerful, mind is applied in, the mind is with Krishna then, like that. So this is very powerful. This is anyway, especially the mind becomes disturbed. Due to much, it is in the process of seeing the Lord within, the mind is interrupted. When there is sound vibrated, raising the transcendental passion of the Lord, however, one is forced to hear. See, forced to hear. Forced to hear means forced that mind also be there. That hearing process enters into the mind. See? The hearing process enters in the mind. अभी mind में हमको डालना है भगवान को, मतलब we have to invite the mind, Lord in our heart. But नहीं जा रहा है. अरे मैं सोच नहीं पा रहा हूँ भगवान के बारे में. तो क्या करो? Hearing करो. When you hear, then through hearing, Lord will enter your mind. Oh, I am Bhagwan. Jai Bol. Then you become Krishna conscious. Like that. See? So Lord will enter your heart. No? वो एक दूसरा भी है ना. शृण्वताम श्रद्धया नित्यम. शृण्वताम श्रद्धया नित्यम. शृण्वतां श्रद्धया नित्यं गृणन्तश्च स्वचेष्टितः कालेन नाति दीर्घेन भगवान विशते हृदि. भगवान हृदय में घुस जाएंगे. कब? जब आप एफर्ट लेकर के भगवान के बारे में सुनोगे, गुणगान सुनोगे. भाई माइंड में, हार्ट में एक ही बात. तो लॉर्ड विल एंटर इन योर माइंड एंड हार्ट. So like the many places it is said, no? Another sloka is there, no? Yannam Shruti Matrena Puman what is that? Nirmalam, like that something comes. So just by Shruti Matrena, the Puman Shruti Nirmalam, something it says that. However, heart will be purified. So many places it is said, the Lord is established in the heart. So our Lord will go in your mind. So by hearing, the Lord can enter our mind. That's why hearing is so much emphasized by Prabhupada. So many times Prabhupada says about hearing. Why? Hearing and chanting. So like we are right now, what they are doing? We are hearing because we are hearing from Prabhupada and we are repeating it. So this is a strong impression in the mind. What do you say? Correct, no? So it's saying, see, for example, the practice of yoga is automatically performed. You don't have to go, yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyaha, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Automatically you are getting samadhi. For example, a child can hear and derive the benefit of meditating on the Supreme Godhead. So you get the same benefit of meditating samadhi by hearing. So you are hearing very aptly, you are in samadhi. So next time when you go to Bhagavatam class, when you find any devotee very nicely hearing, go, Prabhu, you are in samadhi. Appreciate him. You say, Prabhu, आप समाधि में हो. क्या बोल रहे प्रभु, मैं तो जग रहा हूँ. नहीं प्रभु, आप समाधि में. प्रभु मैं जग रहा हूँ. नहीं, आप समाधि में. क्यों, कैसे? क्योंकि you are completely focused on hearing. That hearing is directly entering your mind, Krishna is entering your mind, and you are with Krishna. That is samadhi. So the goal of Ashtanga Yoga to have samadhi, devotee achieves in the beginning only. He hears and attains samadhi. You understand this point about? So Lord's Devotee Chani can hear and derive the benefit of meditating on the past of the Lord simply by listening to reading from the Bhagavatam and describes the Lord as he is going the passing ground with his cows and friends. Hearing includes applying the mind. See, so when you are hearing means mind has to be applied. That is the powerful process. That's why now we have to always see this only, that how much we are reading and hearing. How much I am reading and hearing. That's very, very important. Our reading and hearing sadhana chart should be significantly shown. Weekly basis, daily basis, how much I'm investing time in reading, hearing, properly trying to read and hear. If possible, making notes and all that. We all have to work on it. I also have to work on it. We have so much scope to improve. We are not so much up to the mark actually. All of us have to really think how much I'm able to make out time for reading and hearing. Because to that degree, you are actually really able to apply your mind to Krishna. It's a very wonderful opportunity for us to be able to apply our mind to Krishna. Because we have this hearing and reading program. So hearing includes applying the mind. In the stage of Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya has recommended that one should always engage in chanting and hearing Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita. Try your best. That's your mind is always with Krishna. That is the best way, you see. That is the best way. You understand? So when you say, no, man, mana, think of me. How will you think of me? Keep hearing and glorifying the Lord. That's way you think. You're getting this point, no? And you get little, you're not able to, you got little more, you want some change. Okay, go and distribute books. Okay, do some service. Again, come back and do service that for pleasure of Krishna. Do that service, come back. Again, you read here. You're getting, no? Like the issue. Read here, chant, serve. Read here, chant, serve. Read here, chant, serve. This is what our life should be. The Lord also says that Mahatma, the great souls, always engage in process of chanting the glories of the Lord. Just by hearing, and just by hearing, others derive the same benefit. I also did the same mistake like Sai Prabhu. I was correcting you, I only was doing mistake. So I was telling this now. Always engage in the process of chanting the glories of the Lord, and just by hearing, others derive the same benefit. You see. So those who are chanting, they engage in the process of chanting the glories of the Lord, and just by hearing, और उसको जो सुनते हैं, they also derive the same benefit. So those who are chanting, repeating the message, they also get benefited. They are thinking of Krishna. They are able to think of Krishna. And those who are hearing, they also get benefited because they are able to think of Krishna. It's a very powerful process. The yoga necessitates meditation of the transcendental passion of the Lord, whether he's standing, moving, lying, etc. That is meditation. So it's not like only super soul who's standing. You can think of Krishna going in the Vrindavan. The very highest meditation actually. You're actually meditating on Krishna when you are hearing about Krishna. How many of you could relate to this point what I spoke? You're able to understand? Everyone? Actually सब लोग चले गए, आधे लोग तो चले गए, बहुत रात भी हो गया शायद, already I think 9:45. Okay, so ठीक है, we'll stop here. Any reflection? Any reflection point? Anything you would like to share? Haribol. Your voice is not coming, bro.
Now it's coming.
Mm-hmm. Now it's coming. Yes, it's coming. Sorry. Yes, bro, it's coming now.
Voice has seen that those devotees who are sincere about hearing, they are mostly steady
थोड़ा
devotees.
सा लाउड बोलेंगे क्या ब्रो? उतना अच्छे से नहीं आ रहा है आवाज.
I've seen that those devotees in voice who are sincerely hearing, who are strong in hearing, even taking prasadam there to hear lectures of Prabhupada or Maharaj. They're more steady in devotion. I observe that.
They're more.
Steady in devotion.
They're more steady in devotion. Okay.
They are more enthusiastic to take services and to serve devotees also.
Correct. Yeah, those who are good in hearing, they will overall become good in their overall practice in Krishna consciousness. That is true. Because just think about it, no, Prabhu. When you're hearing directly from Prabhupada books and all that, then what is happening? Your Krishna is entering in your mind. No? So all the dirt will go. No? Slowly, gradually, he'll become more and more purified. He'll become more fixed. Naturally will happen. No? Of course, that hearing will help him to not offend Vaishnavas and all that. Also, everything will be taken care more. So, yeah. So, hearing is the beginning. That's why hearing is so much emphasized. Very good, Prabhu. Any other reflection anybody want to say? For me, when I read this purport, it was like a eureka. I was amazed. My Lord, exactly addressing. This is what we are not able to do. We are not able to think of Krishna just like that. Going, coming, how will you think of Krishna? Not so easy. Mind is bombarded with so many things. Card, and whole Kali Yuga is filled with distractions. Okay, here. Then you see, just imagine this process is so powerful. You may be in amidst all the distractions, but you read Bhagavatam and then you are with Krishna. Because through hearing, you can have samadhi. But if you want to have nothing and you want to think of Krishna, it's not easy, correct? What do you say, Pranav Prabhu? Haribol? Okay, I think his parents have come. He's hearing. He may not be seen, but he's hearing. Okay, you understood this point now? Any other devotee would like to say anything?
Prabhu, we seen that there are two types of gurus. One is Chaitya Guru, Guru from inside, Super Soul, and spiritual Guru. Both are having same frequency.
Spiritual Guru नहीं बाबा. Spiritual Guru दोनों हैं. वो material Guru थोड़ी है. Spiritual master without.
Spiritual master, yes.
Spiritual master within, spiritual master without. Yeah. Yes. So.
Yes, Prabhu. So.
Spiritual master is the mouthpiece of Super Soul that we have to know.
Mouthpiece of, yes.
We are not able to hear the Super Soul. So mouthpiece of Super Soul is spiritual master. So when you hear him, then you are actually following Super Soul. And you become by following spiritual master and that is Super Soul, you become purified. And then you can actually hear the Super Soul more eventually. You can take the direction from Super Soul. You can take the instruction from the Super Soul also. And that will be in line with Guru. So not that Super Soul is telling something, Guru is telling something, conflict जीवन क्या करूं? Guru तो कुछ और कह रहा है, Super Soul कुछ और कह रहा है, ऐसा नहीं होता है. It will be one. It will be in harmony. Yeah. Because the process is perfect. Any other point anybody like to share? Nothing? So should we stop here? Anybody else would like to share anything? Final thing? Manish Prabhu, Vikram Prabhu. If nothing, then we'll stop.
Yes.
कुछ बोल रहे हैं मनीष प्रभु?
Yes, Prabhu. There is a pratyahar. Actually, I'm not getting a proper meaning of it. Actually, just
प्रत्याहार
whatever I am
मतलब
aware.
या प्रत्याहार मतलब होता है डूज एंड डोंट्स बेसिकली. सॉरी नॉट वो यम नियम होता है. आई एम सॉरी. प्रत्याहार इज बेसिकली आहार होता है ना सब सेंसेस का. तो वी डोंट
Yeah.
allow the senses to accordingly get engaged in different varieties of things. So we withdraw the senses from all that pratyahar. Yeah, controlling the mind, controlling the senses. ठीक है.
Yeah, Prabhu.
और any other reflection? Anything? So what is the one main thing of today's lecture? Who will tell? What is the summary you can say? What is like main point you should take from today? Let us hear from everyone. What is the one main point you will take away from this whole discussion? Yes.
Reading and hearing is important for chanting, and if you want to fix your mind, so you have to chant constantly, chant the whole night, and you can get
पहले बताओ क्या बोला शुरुआत में क्या बोला ना.
reading and hearing.
हाँ.
It's important to chant, मतलब constantly chant the whole night. Reading and hearing is important.
Reading and hearing what?
Reading and hearing is important to chant constantly chanting for constantly chanting the whole night.
Okay.
And you can get samadhi very easy way by chanting the whole night.
Yeah, that is first thing purpose. That was the purport we saw. We saw in the purport. But we also understood that by hearing the pastime of the Lord, it is more easy to think of Krishna. Correct? You can directly be there. You cannot visualize the form. Of course, chanting is what Prabhupada said in that purport. Yes, that's true. But we are telling the problem also. What happens is we don't hear. No, we don't apply the mind. Chanting is going on, we don't apply. We cannot test something. That's why it is important to try to be attentive as attentive as possible. That is the topmost process. And we have Bhagavatam readings, hearing, chanting. That also is very important because that way your Krishna will enter in your mind, and then chanting will be more easy also. Okay, let's hear from others what they caught. Pranab says, artificially we cannot think of Krishna, but by constant practice of chanting and hearing, we can naturally remember Krishna. Yes, that is one very powerful one. We cannot just idly sitting and trying to think of Krishna, may be difficult. But you actually hear, especially hearing the glories of the Lord, so you can think of Krishna easily. And then you will be able to chant. While chanting also you can think of Krishna more. And it's like that. So chanting is very, very, I mean, you understand, no? This is how we can go ahead. We do everything, but what I'm saying is the more your reading, hearing goes good, then your ability to hold Krishna will increase. Because chanting में भी आप माइंड इधर भाग रहा है आपका. और तो इसलिए क्या करना है, आप रीडिंग हियरिंग भी करो अच्छे से. तो उससे आपका कृष्णा विल स्टार्ट, योर माइंड विल स्टार्ट होल्डिंग कृष्णा more and more. You get more and more purified, and you simultaneously keep chanting also. So slowly then what happens, the chanting also will become of better quality. That also will happen. तो इसलिए ये रीडिंग हियरिंग पे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंस है ये. So we have to really work hard to read and hear. Okay, ठीक है, we'll stop then. Hare Krishna. Feel Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.